Good afternoon, it's Carolyn here from Waiheke Island down under in New Zealand. In this video I'm going to be showing you how to divide or how to split grasses. This grass here is Lomandra Lime Tuffy, and it's one that I had planted in another bed. I planted it last year, double planted it, so needed to take every second one out, and they're quite big. As you can see, they've probably got to about 4 times the size they were. 4 or 5 or maybe 6 times the size they were in 1 year. So it's time for me to take those out of the ground, divide them up and make a whole lot more out of them. I've got an area here where I want to plant 50. I've put a few in already, but I need 50. So I've taken out, I think, around about 7 or 8 of these. So I'm wanting to get, 6 or 7 out of each one. 7 would be good. And that means that you've saved quite a lot of money. It's really hard to get these grasses at the moment because during the pandemic people bought out a lot of the stock that was in the nurseries. So this one in particular is really popular. It's Lomandra Lime Tuffy. It's an Australian grass, and I can make 50 out of this. So that's almost probably around $500 worth of plants, just out of ones that we had growing last year, just out of say 6 or 7, maybe 8 plants. So it's quite a saving. So it's something that you want to know how to do, and it's not hard, it's really easy. You just need to be shown how to do it and then go and do it. Once you've done it, you'll realize that it's actually really easy. And this is the same process that you will use when you're dividing any plant that replicates like this in a clump. So think flaxes, think clivia, think ringa. So the first thing you need to do is obviously dig them out of the ground, and these ones form a big mat, so they're really easy to get out at this size. Very difficult in some of the larger varieties of Lomandra. Don't call me if you've got a giant one that needs shifting, but these just topple over and they've got quite a dense mat. So this was together like this, and the first thing you need to do is cut it with something. Ideally you would use a spade if it was sharp enough, and if it was a straight edge. My one has a curve, a moon in the edge of it, so it's not so easy for just throwing into one of these, and these are quite dense, so I tend to cut through these, and I either use a flax knife, which is pretty sharp, or I use my Barco cutting saw. These are great for getting through it. So basically what you do when this is closed up, you part it almost like you're parting here, but when these are quite big like this, you'll find that it's really hard to see where to part it. So basically just look at the clump and go straight down the middle of it. Or as some people would say, just go straight down the guts of it, and you just saw through it until they come apart. Don't try and tease them apart as such, because they don't need it. If you start to tease them apart, you'll separate this kind of big clump, and you don't need to do that on grasses. You'll get a little bit of collateral damage. So see that piece has come off and there's no root on it. That's not going to grow, so just chuck it aside. Then when you've got a face like this, you can cut it in half again, which is what I've done here, and then you can cut it in half again, so you end up with 4. There's a little bit of collateral damage, not too worried about that. And then if you've got a big one, you can cut those in half again, and so you end up with 7 there, or 8 if you're good. I got quite a bit of collateral damage on this one, but still, look, isn't that good? So I've got those out now, and I'm just going to plant these straight in as they are. I'm not going to tease these roots out. They're going into little holes up here. Right, well, I better get these planted. Now you know how to divide grasses, so get your knife or your spade or your saw, whatever you've got, and get out there and get dividing your grasses. See you next time.